So today I want to do a painting exercise, a composition and painting exercise.
Shine from Sweden joined.
Okay. Okay. So I want to do a painting exercise with all of you. This is something that you can do for the rest of the week, 2 weeks, with different objects, different kinds of leaves, because this exercise helps you in getting some practice making shapes a certain way, and also in uh, painting where you can blend colors into each other. Do all of you have watercolor? Yeah? Okay, good. Hi, Shayan. Right, so this is what we're going to do. We're just going to draw shapes of leaves next to each other such that the space in between the leaves can be about the same. So it starts looking like a nice pattern. You can also make this as ephemeral art, which means that, of course, now you might not have too many leaves falling, but if there are any leaves around, then you can just keep them on the ground and make a lovely pattern out of that. So I'm going to show you this bit. I'm keeping my book upright, and we are going to make these leaves in a section about this much. So we leave some space from the top, maybe 2 or 3 fingers space from the top, and 2 or 3 fingers space from the bottom, but don't draw a square. Do not draw a square or a rectangle. Don't draw borders. And we'll start from the bottom here. We will leave some space from the side, and we'll start drawing from here. And I want you to just watch me first. Okay, um, don't draw this while I'm drawing it. Just watch me, and then you can draw it as well. Second. Just give me a second, please. Okay, so we are going to start from the bottom and then go towards the top. And all you need to do is draw a line like that. Don't draw with me, I want you to see this. Just watch it. And then we will draw one leaf shape like this. Now, can you see how this leaf is becoming narrow on the top? So, right next to it, where you have the fattest part of the leaf, you will draw another line going in another direction, and then you will draw a leaf like this, so that the thinnest part of the leaf comes next to the fattest part of another leaf, and the fattest part of the new leaf comes next to the thinnest part of the first leaf. And all our leaves are going to have more or less the same shape, but they will be, some will be long, some will be fat, some will be short. And this is the kind of pattern we are going to make. Alright, so do it very slowly. Some places you can make some short leaves. Some places you can make thin leaves like this. But no matter what you do, be careful about how close you go to the edges. We want all the leaves to sit nicely in just so much space. Some points can go outward, that's fine. Can come out this way, that's fine. Don't let it go too much, too close to the edge. So this is an exercise in composition, drawing, and also painting. So if you want to become really good at art, we have to do a few tiny exercises lots of times, and then put all the tiny exercises together when we have to do a big painting. Now if your lines are wobbling, that's fine. Don't use an eraser. You'll see that the leaves fit in quite well. And as you come to the end, you can make smaller leaves. That's it, I think my leaves are done. I'll wait for all of you to finish your leaves and then we can all start painting together.
I'm finished with my leaves and I'm kind of happy how it turned out.
Okay, let's wait for everyone else to finish.
Okay.
Saiti and Shayan, are you done now?
We need like a minute or so more.
Okay, I'll wait for you. Just let me know
Thank
when
you.
you're done.
Aditi, I'm done with my
Okay,
painting. Me too. I think I'm good. Thank you.
great, lovely. Now we are going to choose any three colors that you like. I'm going to choose blue. Oh, sorry, this is green. A blue and a green, and maybe I'm going to throw in a little bit of a brown or one of these yellow ochre like colors. And I want to show you how to paint this. So, a few things about painting. Always keep a rag close to you when you're painting. When you wash your brush, you should wash it and keep the brush outside like that. If you're in the habit of keeping your brush in the water container like that, that can damage the tip. So we wash it, drain it, wipe it, and keep it aside. Yeah. The next thing to do is when you're mixing color, you might have cakes like these and you'll have a palette. So you put some water in the cake so that you can hydrate them. I think I'm going to use this color. This is a raw umber. So this is like a brownish green shade. So I'm going to use these three colors. Now when they're in the cakes, we don't know how dark the color would be. So you roll the brush in it very gently and you pull some color out onto the palette and you roll the color on the palette to see how thick it is or how watery it is and also what kind of color we get. Then wash, wipe, drain, then take a second color. So I'm going to be showing you some color blending today. And now I'm going to take the third color. So anytime you need to choose a color, always take a little bit in the palette and see how it looks in the palette. You need to test that you don't have too much water or you have too much pigment or the paint is too dry. And the best thing to do is roll your brush in the palette and see how the color moves. In time, you'll be able to see this or know this even without testing it. But to get to that point, you have to test quite a bit. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to be dipping into these colors and painting the different leaves, each leaf is going to have all three colors in different forms. So I want you to just watch this. Okay, don't paint with me, just watch this part. So when I start painting, I don't paint it like a color pencil. I will just put enough paint so that the paper gets stained. Now if I have too much paint in my brush, I will wipe it on the rag, take some fresh water, change the color. Now I'm changing it to blue, and I want you to see this part. See this, don't paint with me. You touch the new color onto the old color while it is wet, and just pull both the colors forward, and then wipe the brush again. Take the third color. Now there's enough water here, so I don't need more water, and drag the old paint with the third color, and then make a nice stalk on your leaf. Okay, now you can keep interchanging these colors. I'm going to use the third color first. Again, second color over here, and you can mix this as many times as you want. Now I'm putting green right next to the blue, dragging that further, and putting the first color again over here, and making a stalk like this. So you should be able to paint each leaf in maybe about a minute or so. Don't spend too much time in painting that. If you feel that you are making too many strokes, that means that you are making the colors dull. So this exercise is for you to learn how to stain the paper. Aim to stain. That is how we have to approach watercolor. Now when you're making the stalk, just use a very fine tip. I'm using a number 9 brush for this, but if your leaves are smaller, then choose a thinner brush. And if you cannot make the stalk very thin, then choose an even thinner brush than that, so that when you make this line here, it becomes very thin. Okay, so choose the brush according to the size of your leaf.
Yes, I'm using a number 2 brush.
How big are your leaves? Are your leaves very tiny? A number 2 brush might be good for very tiny leaves.
I have tiny and big. I'm doing the tiny ones first.
Okay, makes sense. Remember to wash or wipe your brush between colors so that those colors don't become very muddy. So this technique is called a wet on wet blending technique, because we are adding a wet color to a wet color. Now, while we drew everything from the bottom to top, we are painting from top to bottom. Any reason why you think that might be a good strategy? Safreen, hold your book when you're painting. Hold your book always, yeah? How is it turning out? Are you all able to do it? Great. as your colors are drying, can you see how they blend and create different textures in the leaves? Yeah. So this is sometimes what scares everyone about watercolor, because you can never predict how the colors are blending. Even if you are painting exactly the same thing over and over again, each leaf will look very different. All the colors blend very differently. Alright, so now beyond this point, I give you the freedom to choose any number or any combination of colors that you want to paint. So if you want to make a few leaves, mostly green, and then only a little bit of the brown, you can do that. If you want to make it in only two colors, even that is fine. And then as you come towards the bottom, you can make a few of the leaves in the same all three colors, so that we can get a good composition going.
And this is one of the most quietest tea lessons of my life. Quiet.
Yes, it's nice. I like this. Everyone is concentrating on their paintings, and I think they're gonna turn out really nice.
Mine does not look that nice, but somehow it's working. Okay, anyways, the only thing I'm hearing is the background music of yours.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, let me continue my working.
I have deliberately chosen a very soothing soundtrack so that everyone
Yeah.
can work very calmly.
Yeah.
So whenever you're painting something which has multiple spots to paint, always remember to think about where your hand is going to go and paint in such a way that your hand does not go onto the wet areas. So if you need to, freely move your book or paper around. Now you can try different kinds of strategies like painting the edges with one color like this brown that I'm doing, most of them, and then adding a color on the inside. Very often you will notice that leaves start turning color from the edges or from one tip to the stalk. Now here's another thing you can do also. You can paint the whole leaf in any one color and then drop the other colors, maybe one or both, while the leaf is still wet. So here I've got one brown leaf, but I'm going to take a little bit of the blue, not too watery, and I'm just going to drop it in some places to create a different kind of texture, and let it just spread. I'm going to do the same dropping thing in a few other leaves also, which have got wet paint. Now let's see if I make a blue leaf and I drop the brown in this. How does that look? I think it might just blend, or let's see if, oh, see, it creates an interesting texture. So when you are practicing exercises like that, here's a good opportunity for you to experiment with certain colors, techniques, almost like in a chemistry lab, science lab, where you don't know how things are going to be, so you test everything out and see what happens if I do this or that, so that if you need to use that technique, if you want to create these kind of blobs in maybe a fruit that you're painting, you can remember this exercise and know how to create that. So these kind of exercises, which are meant to only practice your technical skills, I like to call it painting time pass. Are you familiar with the term time pass? Do you know what that means? You don't know?
I don't think nobody is listening to you except me. They're so concentrated.
They are concentrating. That's a good thing, yes.
But they have to listen to you at least.
I think they are listening.
Anyways, what does time pass?
You know what is time pass?
No, I'm asking you.
I'm telling you. So, time pass is exactly that, when you pass the time, but in most cases, when people say, what are you doing? I'm just doing time pass, it means that I'm not being very serious about spending my time focusing on something really. I want to spend my time, but I'm not really necessarily doing something important. This is not a project, but time is going to go by and I'm going to do something very casual. For most people, time pass means just go and hang out with your friends and chat, or I don't know what young people do these days when they're just, in a sense, wasting time. But for me, when I do painting time pass, it means that I want to do something which is not necessarily a project, but I just want to play. And time will pass, I will have done some kind of painting exercise, and I will have learned something from that. So that when I have to really work on a big project, all this time pass that I have done with my painting, I can remember a few things and I can apply all of that to the big project. I can, of course, use the same texture to make something out of this, like a card, maybe a gift card, gift wrapping paper, and that too can be unique and handmade. So that is my idea of time pass.
Miss, my leaves are looking really weird by one side, and the other side it looks flawless.
Flawless. Wow. Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay, let me just
Like,
look. Oh, they are looking beautiful. So it is possible that maybe your brush was dry in one part, like the tip, and from the other side, it was a little wet. So wherever it was wet, you got a nice clean line. But they're looking beautiful. That page is looking so nice, so full of color. I like
thank
that.
you. Thank you.
Good job. So, what other things do you think we can paint like that and practice?
Maybe like strawberries.
Yeah, why not? That's a
And
good idea.
the carpets.
The carpets, yes.
Cheyenne, do you have any ideas?
I don't know. Maybe I could know. I don't know something like jaw.
You can make anything that has a shape that can nestle inside each other. So maybe you can have something like what can be like a C shape or an S shape that can sit inside each other so that you can leave some space in between. Like if you make strawberries, you have these nice triangular shapes. So you make one strawberry, next to that another strawberry. It'll look beautiful. You can make snakes. You can make worms. I love making earthworm pictures
Why?
because I love earthworms.
No, I hate food.
Cute.
They're scary.
Without earthworms, we would have no food. So I'm going to try and make this. So you just draw some kind of wobbly line like that. And this becomes like a worm shape, right? And then around that again, you can make another worm shape like that. And you keep making shapes inside shapes so that, like we had the leaves, even here you can have that space between the worms. See this negative space. What do we put over here? Oh my god, I have extra space there. Never mind. And you just keep growing these worms. And you can practice making parallel lines like that. My god, this worm is very, very wobbly. It's like a dancing worm. And this time I am using a color pencil instead of a regular pencil. Oh, I can make a worm twirl into itself. Now, whenever you're out somewhere, you can see if you can find more items like this to practice.
They made a really fat one, but not fat on one side of the other.
What are you drawing?
I'm drawing earthworms, but
Okay,
you can
that's
draw anything you want so that it can look like.
remember my first class, like when I was here.
Uh-huh.
For
Are you
the,
talking to me?
no,
Oh, okay.
you okay?
Go.
I draw that same cat.
You drew it, okay. And how is it looking?
It's looking good,
Good, very nice.
but I didn't draw the full body. But it's okay.
Yeah,
I guess
okay.
it's always okay if you have right my things for stuff. So, yeah. Wait, I'm coming, okay?
Okay.
Miss, when you said earthworms, I thought you meant like the realistic one.
No, no, these are just imaginary earthworms.
Mm.
This is just so that we find some topic that we can practice painting with. Now, this time for the earthworm, we can use different colors. I can use an orange and a yellow and a brown, and I do the exact same thing. So, start from the top and mix some other colors. I can use that same brown that I used earlier, which is called raw umber, maybe a red. There was one time that I found a poor earthworm out in the sun, and it was baking in the sun. I said, "What are you doing, dude?" And I picked it up and put it in some grass, and he was very happy. And then
So you made an earthworm happy.
I made an earthworm happy. Yes, it just made a quick hole inside the earth and just shot down inside in the grass. It could not do that because it was sitting on a very hot tile. So obviously, poor thing was getting roasted on the hot tile. It was a very hot.
Gee, what was so he was getting cooked?
He was getting cooked. Yes, and I just felt terrible for him.
Who?
I picked him up and I just put him in the grass where it was much
Do
cooler.
you say Catherine again?
There was some water. Sorry?
What?
What do you say again?
I saved an earthworm from getting cooked. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
See, it's the same exercise. So you can look for different things that you can make in different shapes. And for earthworms, you can also make some designs on them. Because, see, any of these projects are mostly for you to have fun with. So I can suggest something, but you can just take it in any direction you want to. Now, after I have painted that earthworm, I think I'm going to make stripes on that earthworm. And why do I want to restrict it to only 3 colors? Maybe I can add,
You could add 5.
I can add 5, yeah. Let's see what happens if we add more colors. It could look interesting.
I'm just adding earthworms on earthworms.
Earthworms and earthworms? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Like let me show you.
Okay.
Oh wait, let me just like a
Oh,
circle.
wait. Let me see. Yes, that is cute. That is very cute.
Yeah, this is the leaves I have to show
Mhm.
you.
I think it's very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so this earthworm is now dry. I think my leaves are dried as well. So once your colors are dry, you can do all sorts of other textures and painting on them. So in the dry part here, I can make maybe stripes on this with glue. So this will help me practice my fine line work also. See, this is what painting time pass does. You can come up with all sorts of ideas and practice those and see for yourself how it looks. And if you want your time pass to look good, experiment with one or two things in one exercise. So, in this, you can restrict your exercise to just seeing how different kinds of stripes look on your earthworms. And see, I'm turning them around a little bit. That's what is making the earthworm look like it's round. So, draw some curved lines and make them curve in the same direction. This looks like a nice, very hip earthworm, I must say. So on this one I used a blue which is turned green, and in the next one I'm going to use a bright red. Let me see how that looks, but I'm still going to make stripes. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this exercise to complete it through the week and next week. And if you can come up with more ideas to do some of your own painting time pass, then you can share those ideas on the group so that I can also make something that you're making, and all of us can do lots of exercises together. Does that sound
Yay!
okay? And any ideas for what you want to do next time? So we'll have class again in
More cats?
sorry,
More cats?
road trucks. Is that what you?
More cats. He said more cats.
More
Yeah, and
cats. Okay. Yes, we could do more cats. Do you
and
want?
I'm welcome to the class next week.
No,
Okay.
not next week. The week after that. So today is the 5th. Our next class will be on the 19th.
Okay.
So
Then
you can think about what you want to make. We can circle back to cats in a few more weeks. But is there something else you'd like to make?
Sweet.
I don't know.
Like
Because
cupcake.
Think
I
about it.
love
You
cats.
have at least 15 days to think about it and share some
Okay.
ideas. It doesn't have to be just one idea. Share two, three different ideas that one day in the morning you wake up and you think, okay, I don't want to draw cats, maybe I can draw tigers. Just put that in. And then we will select one or two from that and we will make that. Okay?
Okay.
It just helps me to know what you would like. Then I can do a little bit of research and I can show you how you can do the things that you want to do. Otherwise, I'm just going to give you more painting time pass exercises and stuff that I think you should know. Yes, Aiti.